Welcome back, Gale Force, and thank you for attending my presentation about Boyd, a unit from Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, and first let's talk about his traits. In Path of Radiance, Boyd joins you in Chapter 1 alongside Titania and Oscar. He boasts good growths, but somewhat lackluster bases. His default skill Tempest doubles the effects of Biorhythm, which can be either helpful or a hindrance depending entirely on where Boyd's is sitting in any given chapter. Boyd also has to support with Titania, who is inarguably the best unit in Path of Radiance, allowing both to provide a lot of early benefit to one another. Boyd can struggle somewhat in the early game due to his bases, but usually evens out to being a great unit by the mid game. He gets weighed down by even the Iron Axe early on, and this can result in some enemies even doubling him at that point. Nevertheless, he has potential. An early Speedwing can fix these issues, or with careful investment, he can overcome them himself. Once Boyd gets rolling past these initial hurdles, he becomes much better. Due to the abundance of foes in this game wielding lances, Boyd will, between his great strength growth and good skill and speed growths, quickly turn into one of the best footlock units you can have. Under certain conditions, he can also perform the triangle attack later on with Oscar and Rolf, though this is an extremely niche utility that requires a lot of steps to even make an option in the first place. In Radiant Dawn, Boyd rejoins your army alongside the rest of the Grail mercenaries when you shift to Ike's perspective. He once again requires a bit of training to stay useful in the long run, but is nonetheless an acceptable unit from the time he joins. His bases are solid, and his growths are pretty good across the board, barring his resistance growth. Boyd's biggest issue in Radiant Dawn are a combination of the large map size and number of enemies, as well as the fact that so many other great units become available to you around the same time he does. Ike is about the only foot unit you need from the Grail mercenaries, to be frank. And with units like Titania and Oscar being available immediately too, as well as other units from previous chapters becoming available again just a few chapters later, like Har, Boyd can struggle to find a long standing place in your army. That being said, he is by no means a bad unit and boasts very good stats that he can absolutely make use of should the player wish to deploy him. In conclusion, Boyd is a growth unit with good potential in Path of Radiance and a very good, if not strictly needed, unit in Radiant Dawn. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell if you'd like to get notified when I post a new video. A special thank you to patrons 60 Sweep and Gorilla Danny for subscribing at the Paladin tier, and Average Stat Pat for subscribing at the Great Lord tier. If you would like to have a say in which unit should receive a PowerPoint next, check out my Patreon. For just $1 a month, patrons will get to vote on a specific unit to get in PowerPoint next, as well as get to see videos up to 2 weeks early and access to the community Discord. The links will be in the description down below, and have a great rest of your day.